Hey folks, and welcome back to Factorio with me, Pee Pee Choo Choo. So anyhow, when we had left off, we had set off coal and iron production. So now we're moving on to another task. I set up another power relay, and what I realized was that for these power relays, instead of this long chain of just sort of inserter hands, it works, but I mean, I think one alternative, which is conceptually much better, is to actually just have an iron chest filled with stacks upon stacks upon stacks of ore, just right next there with one inserter hand, so yeah, and then it just sort of puts it inside boilers. So anyhow, I built two more steam engines because from the looks of it, I mean, these ones are, they were running at full capacity. I suppose now they're at half, but our power supply was a little bit strained, so I built a few more of them, and I built this, a few enhancements on this little relay that'll help us out. So what I noticed was that one set or one line of stone furnaces wasn't necessarily enough. It looks like two of them is enough to sustain this particular relay. So again, I mean, the ore is processed down here, but the interesting thing is that I've inserted a splitter unit into my production belt, which splits up the iron ore coming into this lane into equal parts, two equal parts. One comes over here into this factory belt connecting to all of these stone furnaces, and another one comes down to this one connecting to all of these stone furnaces, and all of these really just lead to the same place. I mean, they're all here for the same purpose of sending iron plates down into these hands. There was a small blockage right there, but I think now it's fixed, and it'll effectively just stockpile it onto this lane for the little mechanical hands to pick up and store inside those boxes. Currently, we've reached production. If I check here, in 1 real minute, I produce about 400 of these iron plates, and I am just rolling in these. I actually don't have enough room to carry them half the time. Leading, which I'm actually considering making this little redundancy relay where it'll actually store it into even more boxes, just due to the fact that currently I have way too many of these iron plates to even fathom how to use. Which is why I'm making this video. Today we're going to be talking about using assembly machines. Remember, these are the things that we gained from unlocking automation level 1, and we want them to assemble a few basic components for us now that we have this setup going. I'm actually going to change our research here. Currently I'm doing logistics 2, which will give us the red line of conveyor belts, making things slightly faster, but currently I actually want the lighting one because this nighttime is actually really annoying me right now. And what I mean by that is, on our conveyor belt, there's a few small problems, namely with these tunnels. They just don't they just don't spit things out fast enough, creating a few problems like at these corners, where these corners are really slowing down our little feed in here, which means that this one fast inserter at the end of the line here isn't necessarily working full time. So I want some of those other belts to help us out on that regard, but currently I think I'll get a lighting system going up here because it's quite dark inside the game. One thing I think this little offload point was actually down here originally, but I changed that just due to the fact that it looks much better. Just going from that, I mean, I want to make this setup that makes some of these iron gear wheels. So this is the tab inside the crafting panel. It's intermediate goods, meaning that these are effectively, I mean, goods to make other goods. And the good that we want to make are these these iron gear wheels, namely because they're used in making science packs, and they're also used in making transport belts and also, I believe, inserter hands. So that is one reason why we want a ton of them. I have like this ghetto setup of just one steel stone furnace, a burner inserter which uses coal, which I need to resupply, to really just store some copper plates down here because I'm not using a ton of those. But anyhow, we will be using a ton of those in the near future. Again, just really going off of this production idea of making things using production lines. Alright, so we're producing iron plates, we're stockpiling iron plates at a great rate, so now with these iron plates, let's get them to do something a little bit more useful. Namely, I want them to be used in churning out those iron gear wheels. So with that said, I think we'll start off with a six unit assembly line, and of course we can build up from there if we need to. So with that said, I'm going to build that around this general area. you'll see on the mini map that on the middle map here, you see that there's this tinge of orange/red starting to appear, and this is because the game knows that there's some element, there's some trace of pollution being generated right now, and the game will actually have these monsters which will attack these locations, but thankfully I haven't discovered any of those locations as of yet, meaning that they probably won't spawn, or at least I hope they won't spawn in the near future. I'm gonna build a few lights to plug down here, because it's nice to be able to see. Why is that light off? Ah, that's why it's day now. Okay, that's good. So, let's get this production facility set up, and what these locations require is primarily a large amount of space. What I want to do here is that I want to set up a relay just like the ones that we have there, where we have inserter hands putting things in, inserter hands, or extractor hands I suppose, taking things out and putting it on another conveyor belt, which takes it to a different place. So what I think I'll do here is something like this. We're still going to need a lot of iron plates, but we don't necessarily need that many of them. So here's what I'll do. I'll get rid of the ones down here. I'll make this line come all the way around here, and then what we can do is that we can click on these production assembly facilities. It'll let us choose what good we want to produce in them, and of course we can change that. We'll set it to those cogs, and really the game should just do this for us. I'm just gonna apply electricity to this area. And what this will do is that it'll allow these fast inserter hands to take all of the iron tiles off of one line of production here, seeing as how these conveyor belts have two lines in themselves, I suppose. And then the set up here, or one set up here. Suppose I'll build one box over here. Oh, wrong way. What's going to happen up here is that another line is going to start to take the excess units of iron plates, and it's going to throw them down onto this conveyor belt, which is going to then produce these cogwheels, which then we can have a machine to just sort of store from here. And it looks like we're going to need 2 of them, but that's fine. And yeah, this is what happens when you have too many iron plates. It just builds up. It's just too many of them. They overwhelm you. So then we can have a separate little production facility, which will do this. It'll store things inside these bins now. And of course, this production, where this line of things. Actually, I think I'll get rid of that inserter. Replace this with a regular one. And this will allow us to have some fine-tuning ability onto just how many plates we want to remove from this line. Currently trying to find a good spot between having enough inserter heads at various different speeds to enough units of iron plating going down into this line to produce those iron wheels, these cog wheels. And this line will pretty much just go on and on and on and on and on like that. I'm going to research some armor crafting because armor will be pretty helpful in the near future. And really, I mean, this is one factory setup. It's producing iron cogwheels, and I think it'll be a good measure if we had a system that would actually take these iron cogwheels and stash them in another location. Yeah, and unfortunately that happened. It looks like I had too many iron plates in my inventory, so I couldn't hold all of them. So when I deconstructed that box, it just exploded. Oh, great. That's no problem, but we can pick them all up. If I hold down the F key, it'll generate this like sort of area of effect pickup, which I can just sort of hover over here, I suppose. Get rid of all of that. There we go. What am I going to do with all of these iron plates? Alright, so there we go. Now we have all of them. We have all of the iron plates under control. And the reason I wanted to put this box over here is because I want to change this area up slightly, because I feel like I can make this area into a pretty damn good chain to actually take these iron plates, and I want to make this this area over here a little multi-use collection facility. Because, I mean, obviously we don't have to have one type of resource on one conveyor belt. We can have multiple types of resource on the same conveyor belt. And what I want to do is that I want to make a system that that throws objects onto conveyor belts, and then from there we can sort of move it to a different line. Is what is my goal here. So with that sort of said, I want some more of these transport belts because they're fairly crucial, and later on we can make a separate little thing that actually produces these transport belts. I want a good amount of them too. And here's what I'm thinking of doing. So this area right here will be a little box supply area, a supply area. And things are going to be put onto this conveyor belt. And likewise, what I think I'll do is I'll take all the things out of that box. Let this hand handle it. And I'll see what we can do with one for now. But I think you guys are seeing what I want to do inside this area. I want to make it so that from this area, these iron plates can be combined with these cog wheels, and from there I want to be able to send these goods into other areas to effectively be used. Is pretty much what I'm aiming for here. So with that said, let's get that set up too. Now I noticed that I can fit in one more thing right here, so I think I will. And what I currently want to do with this is that I want something that will be able to produce Science Pack 1s for me, or rather not Science Pack 1s for me, but these transport belts effectively on its own. So, these machine hands will then sort of yeah, these machine hands will just sort of throw these plates onto the transport belts here. And it'll build a fair amount of stock up over here. And what this transport belt is going to do is that it's going to go over here. It's going to go around like that, I suppose. And it's going to come all the way in here because I said it would. Give it a little turn like that. And really, once the goods arrive over here, I want to set up another production chain using these assembly line 1s again to effectively just make another thing, really. And that process just sort of continues on as we just sort of build these areas up, I guess. And again, some more copper plates, seeing as how we have the time for them. And I think I'll make this line just wrap around like that for some reason. Now, let's see, we're going to need quite a lot of these assembly machines inside the near future, so I think I'll just build a vast supply of them. And again, we would just want to get these lines set up. And currently my idea is that I want to make it so that all of the production lines funnel back into this area right here, so that the objects produced can be just sort of stockpiled and stored up, really. And of course, I mean, a part of the fun is optimizing this layout, so I'm constantly thinking of, you know, how I can improve upon these buildings that I have so far, and how I can really craft it so that when I expand later on, these buildings don't need to be torn down in the wake of production. So there we go, I'm going to get this line set up, it's going to produce transport belts. And because, as you can probably tell, I mean, I need a ton of these transport belts. I'm just going to get this entire line to make those exclusively. And what we can then do is that we can finish this little gap, bridge electricity into the area. And that'll start producing these transport belt pieces for us to use. So, really rather elaborate system over here, and of course this can this system can pretty much only get better as time really goes on. Namely, I see some opportunity to actually remove this wire right here. Put a box right there. Get another one of these fast picker-upper things. And of course one to drop onto the line right there, power that up, and that'll make it so that we have an even amount of cogs and plates coming down this line for these things to use. And it looks like these assembly machines do make these plates, or these little conveyor belt pieces, at a much slower rate than what it would usually take us to do. Because I believe these assembly machines, they only have a speed of half of our construction. So currently I'm trying to make it so that all of the cogs and all of the stuff being put down is picked up by the machines. Oh yeah, pretty much that's that. So, that sets up a little two-part layout for us. One that produces transport belts, and one that produces cogwheels as well. And I'm gonna assume that we're actually building up a fair amount of stock in terms of both of these cogwheel things too. So I mean, it's like, yeah, this area seems to be going fairly well for now. We have a little depot for iron plates, an increasing amount too, I might add. Large factory smelting operation, and our factory, it's well, it's shaping up. It's shaping up for sure. So over here, want to build a few more of these hand things to pick up these belts. And as you can probably tell, these belts are then just sort of stored down here for us to use later on. And look at that, that's just a glorious amount of belts. And yeah, pretty much, I mean, just going from that, there's a lot more stuff that we can produce. And I think in the next episode, we will just really try to advance off of this chain. One of the end things that I want to do with this production chain is that I want to automate the production of these science packs, because like I said again, they take a long time to do, and they're just really rather inefficient in themselves. I want to currently research I want electronics, but I also want logistics too. I think electronics will be the easier one out of the two, so we'll do that. So anyhow, we'll see you well, I'll see you guys then when we set up that. Bye bye for now.